Emotional damage.
Anyways,
Can you imagine?
Welcome back, everybody.
Hey,
Uh,
it's been a while.
Guys?
it's been a minute.
It's been a few minutes. Today we're going to talk about some
Hours.
protesting and seconds and days.
Protesting, dude.
Yeah,
there's
we're
yeah.
talking about the national pro-Palestinian.
Protests that's happening at schools right now, mostly.
It's actually wild, dude.
It is wild. Like full
Yeah.
camps are made, taking over buildings.
Yeah.
Like they're granting, I saw they're granting access to people, and certain people we'll allow you to pass. Like the
or
one-
demands.
The one TikTok I saw was this dude pulled the Uno reverse card, and he was like, "You as a white man are telling me as a black man that I can't walk through here," and he's like, "That's not what I'm saying." He's like, "The move," and he's like, "Well, no, we can't permit you to walk through here." He's like, "You can't permit me, black man, to walk through here," and I was just like, "Damn,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know."
That was actually
that's messed up, man.
We have a lot to talk about with this one, so
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot because it's not. Apparently, Anthony was talking to us for a second. There's a lot more like
oh yeah, there's some big
underlining
stuff happening.
motivators here
Yeah.
Oh,
that we
yes.
I didn't know.
Yes, and
But it's there. So.
it doesn't make sense if you actually look at it. The protesting and
Yeah.
the ones protesting
Mhm.
makes no sense what they're supporting, what
Yeah,
they're trying
like-
to support.
Yeah.
right.
It's-
Yeah, like that's the
It's-
last person. Yeah, we'll
It's
get into
weird,
that.
right? But it's like this
It's
whole thing
just-
does not make sense.
It's comical, dude.
It
I
is
mean,
comical.
it's like just people just need something to be pissed off about, man.
Yes, that's
they
what it
just
is.
don't have a job.
God,
and move
dude.
over somewhere. Picket
Or they want to
fencing.
be part of something. You know, that's the big thing. They want to be part of something.
Yeah,
And
movement. Right.
movement. Woo,
Well, there's plenty.
bowel
of them, but-
movements everywhere.
It's like a time machine. Go
Yes,
back to the
exactly.
70s. You want to do that
Yeah.
shit. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. But
yeah, there were some good movements there, but like right now, okay, Palestine, Israel, we all know what's happening.
we know that,
That's there's.
if we're gonna
Yeah.
go from both sides, right? Let's say
I think that's fair. Yep.
Hamas, Palestine. You know, they did attack Israel pretty heavy. They
Yeah.
killed over 1,000 people. Really brutal stuff happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just straight
brutal.
executing.
Like
Um,
really bad stuff. We won't go
Yes.
into the details, but it was bad. The response from Israel has been extremely
Extreme.
aggressive,
extreme.
like to the point of like, okay, what are you guys doing, type of
Hey,
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
So from that,
yeah, it would be the same thing.
yes,
Like that,
and it's
just because
like,
it happens to you.
yeah,
I mean,
Like
anyway, indiscriminately.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying that though because there's been like civilians getting caught up in the Israeli counterattacks,
Mhm.
and like
a lot.
civilian casualties are
lot.
a part of.
yeah,
war.
but it's like they're not targeting.
It's
It's the same thing Russia's doing. They're targeting infrastructure where people live versus
Yeah.
military targets, and Israel's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
they're
well,
just leveling the city.
Block
which
by
is-
block. Yeah.
yeah, like one thing bad with Israel, with their attacking, they're
Mhm.
using I think AI right now to determine who to attack.
That's crazy.
Yes,
That's actually wild.
Israel.
yes, they're actually using algorithms made by AI to determine
Yeah.
what house would most likely,
Have someone
have
there.
someone of a.
What's that from? Just internet traffic?
Yes, I think
Look at-
traffic, names, families, cousins. So
How to clean my AK-47.
what do I do?
Yeah.
AK is rusted.
So from that, they're doing a lot of damage, right? So
Yeah.
we can see that from both sides. They're finally calmed down with that. You know,
Mm.
what's the damage that's done is
Yeah.
pretty much done. We're not coming back from that.
No.
But the protesting that's happening right now to, I guess, support Hamas, support Palestine,
Mm-hmm.
the entity,
Yep.
makes no sense
Yeah.
because this group does not like these protesters.
Mm.
Like if you actually look at
No.
it, they
Well, explain the protesters who a lot of these are.
yes.
So that makes sense.
The protesters right now, nearly from what I've read from
Yeah.
journalists and whatnot. and
Yeah, there's a ton
articles,
of articles we've been reading. So
nearly 50 to 60% of all the protesters are from the LGBTQ community,
mm-hmm.
and they're the ones leading it strong.
yeah,
A lot of them are foreign nationalists. They're, protesting along with them.
or people not from here.
Not from
and
here.
we don't mean not naturalized. We mean they are
They're
not
just not
citizens of the
from
United
here.
States.
and they're
Okay.
protesting with this group.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy about this, that's insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
protesting for a group that the
That
leader of this group
would kill
came
them.
out
Yeah.
last week or a few days ago
Mm-hmm.
and said on video that we don't support this. Our law will
We don't support the people who are supporting
yes,
supporting us under
yes,
that banner
the individuals, yes, they will
From
kill
the-
them from that view.
from
So,
that community, right? Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy. So it's
Yeah.
like it's think of something, the protesters,
Yeah.
they're in America. In America, we let anything happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the
Yep.
land of the free.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you want. That's great. But
Yeah.
and you're supporting a country you've never been to.
Yeah.
And you don't know the laws of that country. So that from the protesters' view, it's insane.
Or the mindset.
Yeah,
the mindset, the laws, what actually goes down
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So from that view, it's
they
really
in
bad.
some of those places, if they find out that, we're not talking about anything else necessarily, but just at a bare minimum, if they find out you're a homosexual, they will throw you off the cliff,
Yes,
or
it
the
has
top. They
happened a
will
lot.
take you on top of a building and throw you off, or beat you to
Mhm.
death. I mean,
Yes.
that's literally
No, that is
we've
Hamas
seen it happen.
does that.
So
Yes, Hamas
Well,
does
yeah,
that
anywhere
in Gaza.
that's
So
yeah,
especially
ISIS,
this.
all of it,
Yes,
anything. So that's who's supporting them,
that's the majority, over half.
and then they say, "Hey, don't support us."
exactly,
of
that's what's
course.
really
Yeah.
bad about it,
Yeah.
because I don't think they realize
no
that.
idea.
They don't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah.
And then what's really strange with the groups, like these are camps that's being created in all these colleges, and now the schools are getting involved to clean them out with police force.
Like actual, like
Yeah.
tents and stuff.
Like
yeah.
actual tents, they're building walls, they're barricading doors, they're
Yeah, I saw the
making
metal fences and
makeshift
stuff. Yeah.
weapons, fireworks to launch at people. So
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like medieval times.
It's like an episode of South Park, dude.
It really
It
is.
actually is. Yeah, it looks crazy. So
It's like Reno 911.
When
What's
the
going
AR
on over
when
there?
the
guys?
AARP came in and took over the town of South Park.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember that.
That's too funny, dude. Bunch of old people.
American
Dude,
Association
the,
of Retired
They're
Persons.
just parachuting in.
Yeah.
And shit. I like.
The UNC, is he the chancellor? Is that what you would say his name
Pretty
is?
much, yeah, the
Anyway,
chancellor,
he's the
Mhm.
acting head dean or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? The UNC thing. So he
Ugh.
spit. It's bad for you.
It's everywhere.
So basically what's been happening, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know that it's been the Hamas flag, maybe, but I know that they have been taking, when I say they, protesters have been going to these large, well-known universities, taking down the American flag and replacing it with, at a minimum, the Palestinian flag.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I always
no.
thought that was like an act of war.
When you raise someone else's flag above,
Yeah.
in that way, I mean, it's improper. Like our flag first, always,
Mm-hmm.
then the state flag, and then whatever else.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't standing up for it. He's like, as long as I am, and there you just hear people murderers and stuff in the background. He's like, as long as I'm in this position, we will have an American flag here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And then the police
Yeah.
escort him, and everyone's like chanting all sorts of. I mean, it sounded like it was 4 people just screaming at
Well-
the top of their lungs, stuff
Yes,
protesting. So I don't
so-
know that I don't know if this is like a feverish thing where it's like, hey man, people are having injustices done upon them. Let's stand up, but they just don't understand. Like it's tainted. It's not like one group is playing ball and the other one's not. Dude, they attacked Israel, and the way they did it was pretty gnarly.
It was insane.
And
Yeah.
what
It
they're
was a
doing now,
crazy-
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, like, you can't really stand up
Yeah.
and then replace our flag
Yeah.
and then maybe not be here based on the stats you were saying.
Yes. So
And may not be a citizen, we say. you know?
exactly that. Yeah. So
So who are you from? Who's funding you? What's the real deal under this? So,
yeah. So right now there are, I guess, emails going out,
Yeah.
groups. They are being paid to protest. Not every one of them. It's like you get a group of 20, and then another 20 will grow to that because they see it like, oh, we got to join
a
this
movement.
this
Yeah.
movement.
It's
So
gaining traction.
Yeah.
it's gaining traction.
Psyops kind of deal.
So right
Psychological warfare.
now, there are larger companies, businesses overseas, who knows, right, funding this
Mhm.
for whatever reason. It could be a political reason.
or to cause discourse,
discourse.
make
It
America
could
look
be,
weak.
It could
all
be
sorts of
for
things
the
potentially.
elections coming up.
Yeah.
There's a mass thing. It
Look
could
like
be
we're not in
done.
control. Look like we don't.
But
Like we're
right,
anti-Semitic.
Yes.
Maybe.
but like right now, like the tents, all the tents are the same, and they're being funded by the same entity, and they're just sending them all across the country.
Hmm.
So the same everything.
So a lot of these guys are potentially not going out and buying their own tents. They're just like, hey, here's a tent.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So here's some money.
It was
Yes.
the same thing
Yes,
when
here's
the
material, right? Like here's like a ton of flyers you can hand out.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And it could be of
Yeah, this is like traditional
Yeah.
psychological warfare
Mhm.
garbage.
It was like same thing in Minneapolis where the pallets of bricks are being left on the corner.
That was weird. We never talked about that. But yeah.
That was
We didn't even know each other.
that was years ago.
Yeah, there's literally
Really, it
bricks
feels
set
like-
up to throw just randomly.
Like
Yes,
it
I
like it
remember
got unloaded by like one of the Lowe's trucks and set
Yeah.
down, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
there was
Why are these
Bats.
here?
There was-
I don't know.
like U-Haul vans with like left with the backs open with bats.
Somebody
and
ordered. I don't know.
baseball stuff
Yeah.
and all sorts of.
Yep.
That's what's
stuff.
happening. here.
Barricades, all sorts of weird stuff out of nowhere from who knows
Yeah.
who. So I mean, I think that probably what we're voicing right now. I want to go to the China thing.
Oh yeah.
Since we're just throwing it out there. We all, I think, it's too. What is that phrase? It is not as it seems. Almost always. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
when you have big movements, and I used to be naive to that. My wife was showing me like, hey, look, in Ukraine originally, like, hey, look, there's in 2011, these protesters are paid for
Mhm.
sure, for this, for the president at the time or whoever, right? This is a
Yeah.
paid thing, and I was like, oh, okay, but I didn't understand that happens here.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're 17, you don't really know. You're like, America, let me join the army, which is great, but it's just strange that you cannot believe what you see. You just have to necessarily take in the information,
Yep.
follow it, and if it's true, that's awesome. But it
That's-
doesn't seem like much of what's going on is very genuine.
No,
maybe
not
maybe
with
for
this.
some people, like
Yeah.
I'm following this because I feel like I'm helping
Mhm.
and it's a purpose, but unfortunately the orchestrator, it may not be genuine.
Yeah, well, like these are universities, right? These are
Yep.
young kids,
Yep.
and they're trying to find a way, right? It could be whatever
Find
it
their
is.
way in the world. Yep.
And
You're
if a larger group or another country or anything, they're funding this in certain ways. If they're just getting certain people together,
Mhm.
if they're putting ads on different social media platforms about this,
Mhm.
if they're pushing it to change the mind of the individuals to group and join together,
Yeah.
that's why it grew so quickly. Because this is 2 weeks has been going on across the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So what was the China thing? I think.
yes,
Did we get there yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So they're making arrests. They
Mhm.
made 2,300 arrests so far.
Hmm.
At
Pro Palestine arrest in China.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
well, I'm gonna get
He's
these.
gonna
out.
go to the China part, but there's been
I'll
there
tell
have
you
been a
real
lot
quick.
of
So
arrests. Yeah.
2,300 arrests so far at the schools, and the ones they're arresting has a face mask on.
Yeah. A lot
so
of people are concealing their
They're
identity.
concealing their identity, and the police are removing this while they arrest them. And the
Sure.
ones they're removing, they are being identified as Chinese nationalist over here that should not be here. Like people like that should not be here.
You mean here illegally, or they shouldn't be at that location?
They should not be there at that location.
Okay,
They should
so
not be at the
they have no
college.
agenda, no
Exactly.
reason. They've purposely
Yes.
been planted there.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're being identified now from the masks being removed. Like
Sure.
these are professors. These are people who has power. They own websites. They
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in mix of these. It makes no sense why they're there.
I saw that. This may be a separate thing, but I did see that the protesting professor lady who was fighting police, and they yanked her up and took her out. One trooper took a professor, just yanked him up by himself, like
I remember
britches,
that.
Wow.
I saw
throws him
that.
over, and just keeps walking. Dude, he's like, I was like, dude, that
He's
guy
strong.
does. That's why he do squats and deadlifts. My goodness.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. But
Because they just went, the protester just, maybe it wasn't a professor, but the protester just collapses on the ground. Like, no, you're not taking me. He was just like,
One of my,
okay.
one of my
Just
favorite ones.
with the hat and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like just
I saw
manhandling
that.
them.
Dude, it was insane.
But
I like the
what's-
frying pan one.
what's really bad about
the what?
The frying pan one where the guy's like,
Oh yeah,
ding,
ding. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the protester on the other side of whatever.
I
that
haven't
was.
seen that one yet. I'll watch that
Yeah,
one.
I think it was Antifa, right? It was an anti Antifa guy, and he was just frying pan, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
that was a
popping
long
people,
time
dude.
ago, but it reminded me of that.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
But that's like one thing, right? With
Good.
with that, so we don't know how deep that goes.
Yeah.
That could actually be something that's being funded because now in the camps at major schools, flyers are coming up of like support for communism, like
Mm.
join this movement, communist country, spread through the colleges, like
Mhm.
actual flyers spread out through the camps.
Wow.
So that could be something, or we don't know.
What's
'Cause there's
that?
always agendas.
What's that
Mhm.
dictator? The communist dictator.
Kim Jong Un.
Nah, the
Oh
one.
man, okay.
He's not Gaddafi.
The panda.
It was a big one in the 70s and 80s, and it came back around. But he's a huge communist. Anyway, everyone was wearing his T-shirt, and like he did. We'll research that. But anyway, it was a guy. You know the guy they are always wearing is a South
Really?
American dude.
Really
I
hairy.
almost want to say like Cuban, but of course it wouldn't be Fidel.
Fidel.
No idea what I'm saying.
What's up, Fidel?
Okay,
Is it that guy that everybody got like?
He knows their name.
the T-shirts, man.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it
it's
was like the
teacher.
dude who was buying. He was like selling shoes to stop like the child soldiers. Is that what you're talking about? Like there's a guy that came out selling shoes to get
I
these
don't
kids
know.
out of country because they were like child soldiers
What
in
is-
South
I don't
Africa.
even
What
know.
was this, Coney?
That's another story right
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Yeah,
Coney?
that's what I'm thinking. Is that what
Coney?
you're talking about?
No, Coney's he was the
The warlord.
yeah, the
Yeah.
warlord. You're
You
right.
know
But I
Coney.
didn't know about shoes. Yeah, he was like, dude, that guy's crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
actually,
the other guy, the yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
there
group.
was one more thing I wanted to add to the
Yep.
protest,
I'll look that
and-
guy up while you're
which
talking.
is really bad. So, and I think you were mentioning at the start, they're denying certain people access to the schools.
Mm-hmm.
So Jewish professors and students are being restricted from even entering the premises. Like they're
Jewish specifically.
yes, because
This
that's what
this
they're
guy, man.
protesting
This
this, right?
guy,
What's his name?
Che. Well, of course I want to know Che
Chill, son.
Guevara. This guy.
Che
man.
Guevara.
I don't know. No, they're not going to be able to see this from here, but this guy. This is the thing that everyone, the pictures of this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see it, but
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I've seen
see
that guy, yeah.
Once you
Yeah.
see it, you're like, yep, that
Yeah,
guy. Anyway,
cool.
everyone's like, yeah.
That reminds
he's-
me of that dude from Escape from L.A. with Kurt Russell.
That's a great movie.
You know what I'm talking about?
I
though?
do know
That-
what you're talking
yeah.
about. He looks
yeah,
just
okay,
like him.
this one I know.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Where he surfs
Usually I don't know the movies.
surfs the tidal
Yeah.
wave.
I know. Yep, the
Dude.
surfer dude.
Anyways, that's
Yeah.
who that
Surfer
guy.
dude.
That's who I always think of when I see that T-shirt.
really, yeah.
I haven't
it's
seen it in a
wild, though.
while.
Well, I think what it shows is what I guess we're saying is that anyone can jump on this bandwagon of thinking that there's a good cause or someone's good. No, dude. The
My thing
history
is-
of communism, no way.
I just stay out of
There's
all
no
of
way.
it, man.
Yeah.
I just stay away from it.
Yeah.
It's just good to look from the outside in, kind of like what we do. That's all we do, you
Mhm.
know. I don't really think we ever,
Sometimes, yeah.
well, that's my point
Well,
of view. Anyway.
you know,
No,
it's
no,
like, I
mean,
think
you're
it's
right.
bad
I
'cause the
just know we look
mentality-
into it.
Because before I was, in UCLA, they beat up a Jewish girl who entered
I heard about that.
Yes.
They unconscious.
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 Like
I
actually
did
beat
not
her
hear
up.
about that.
They
So this
they
is-
surrounded a Jewish guy. He was young from what the video, and wouldn't let him leave.
Mhm.
So kidnapping.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they beat this Jewish girl unconscious. And just from the video I saw, it looked like
So I know a lot about that right there. So
Yeah, go ahead then.
What's really bad about this, the Jewish community, they're really attacking any students, stopping them from going to school. When they go to school, the protesters are beating them up, fighting
they're
them.
beating up the Jewish people.
Yes, like purposeful, like it's targeting.
hmm
And the one in UCLA, that's the biggest example of it so far. Because when
Or
the girl,
clear, yeah.
clear example, yes,
Yeah.
because they beat up the girl, did the other guy, but that night and the next day, the community of Jewish people attacked the protesters
Yeah,
in the
at
camp
UCLA.
with
Yep.
fireworks, bats. Like they
Yeah.
were actually full on clash.
Mace
the-
and stuff.
The police did not get involved.
Hmm.
They did not even show up. They let them do whatever they want, which is insane. Like they let them, like hundreds of people fighting each other.
Hmm.
But
It might have been like unequipped though for that. I mean, that's like where you
Well-
gotta start rolling the National Guard for stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say.
Possibly,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how many
It's-
people are there.
It's L.A. though.
Well,
I mean, they've got-
well, yeah.
I mean,
they've
add
got-
it to the list of problems that
I
they
mean,
have.
Just
yeah.
ignore 90% of them
Oh,
and just deal with it.
Can you
But-
imagine going like, dude, we're out, straight out of tents. I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go to the homeless shelter, grab one. Like, my goodness,
Yeah.
get the
But
needles
it's,
out, and then we'll protest.
It just seems like a lot of stuff that does not make sense, and I don't think they
Yeah.
realize what's
Yeah.
going on.
There's a lot
or-
of stuff nowadays doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
you know?
Is
This
it
one is
because is it because it's just so saturated, the amount of cell phones and proof that we have that hey, what we're being told is not matching what we're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
or is it because people are just disingenuous now? Is it a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both, dude. I think it's a
So when did we stop trusting what the news said? I mean, I know that I don't trust them.
for a long time. I mean, I haven't.
I mean, our whole
You
lives.
can't.
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Dude,
you know,
it's
some
pretty
of
much
the-
But
forever.
when do you think
Yeah.
it was like genuine?
I remember watching a video last year of a news station or like a comedian
Mm-hmm.
from the 50s and 60s, like from old,
Yeah.
joking about not listening to the news. Like,
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to listen to that news station. You know what they
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
I think it's always been that way.
Yeah.
But now it's
Mm.
even worse.
I think
'cause-
since the beginning of broadcasting, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at,
Yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but what's that movie with Robin Williams and he goes to Vietnam as the radio host?
Oh,
Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, Good Morning
Oh, okay,
Vietnam.
that's it.
Yep.
So like,
Good
and then
morning,
they
Vietnam.
they get rid of him
Mm-hmm.
because he is
Yes.
the voice of conflict. Like,
Yeah.
they can't, you know, like, but like
Sure.
give it a little bit of bias. You know, and they
Yeah.
get pissed. You're like, no, dude, the soldiers need to hear
You
this,
need to
this,
say
and
this,
this,
Yeah.
and
say
this.
that.
You
That's
know,
your
like
script.
motivational stuff.
Yeah.
They want them to
Yeah.
hear, oh, they're winning, or they actually won this battle, and they
Mm-hmm.
really
Mhm.
didn't because they lost, 150 guys, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think there's always been some sort of persuasion or manipulation,
Like the
more than
greater
always.
good statement from Big Brother stuff.
There has
Yeah.
to be, or
There's
something.
always
or
this
like that
systems now.
the famous thing that's been on the
From
internet
anywhere.
for like a couple of years now is that, where it's all the news stations.
Oh my
broadcasting the
gosh!
same
Yeah, we're
thing.
here to bring to you unfiltered in this hard time.
Yeah.
Unfiltered, true news,
But you'd think they'd be
established
smart
news.
enough to at least
Yeah.
change it up a little bit,
dude.
dude.
It's
you
the
know?
exact same line.
I mean, it's
how
like
many?
the Riddler, dude.
Yes.
Not
There
the
was.
Rid-
You
is
think
it
there was
the
at
Rid-
least 40, probably?
There was it kept getting smaller and smaller
Yeah.
and smaller.
It
and
was at least
smaller.
40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
all-
mean,
all the
at
screens-
least, yeah.
You guys should look it up. Maybe we can put it in our description. But it was like literally just kept. They're trying to say how they're going to be true regardless of
And I
the
think that's why
circumstances,
it's a
and
lot.
Everyone was saying like there's like 30, 40 news.
I think that's why it's so easy for people to jump on a lot of bandwagons.
Yeah.
Because they,
Okay.
I think, I would say like 99% of people nowadays. I
Mhm.
mean, like, we're not the minority here as far as like how we think. Like,
Surely.
even though the
not,
media
no.
makes you like,
No.
oh, the way you think's wrong. I think a lot of people align with viewpoints, especially nowadays. They're starting to see through kind of,
Yeah.
maybe we're not should be so trusting. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
You
even
know?
if you do trust, like even if you report the news fairly and accurately,
Yeah.
who knows that what is actually occurring that you're reporting on is genuine now. So like, yeah, people at UCLA are having this and this, and you're very accurate with your reporting and
Yeah.
non-biased, right? But then why are they there?
Mm.
Who put them
UCLA
there?
though has always been like a center point of conflict, dude.
As far as like a lot of the stuff that they push out is very
Yeah.
controversial.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
towards-
Yeah, 'cause they're very
yeah.
controversial schools.
Yeah, they're
so
not
it's
going to
not
be
like
quiet a lot of times.
super surprising that that's going on there. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not like Chapel Hill.
Yeah, really. Yeah, Chapel
know?
Hill, they shut that down, man. They shut that down.
Yeah.
But it's been at like
Those
probably
Yeah, there's trends with that.
30, 40
Yeah.
schools already with this
The frat dudes
across the country.
They got a GoFundMe. Like the first day they got $100,000. I think
I
now
know.
it's like up to
What
like
was it?
$600, 700, like $100,000 in their GoFundMe.
The boys that took
Which
it down, the frat boys,
Yeah, they took down
they
that
have
flag.
a GoFundMe. Someone made it for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
We
they've
need
got
to
like
go-
600,000
We need
now.
to go do that so we just get
Yeah,
that
Six
money.
hundred thousand, real quick. Yeah.
be like, yeah, man, I took down, I did the right
But no,
thing and
it's,
got paid. You know.
Yeah, I think that something's going on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yep.
what it is. That's the thing. It's impossible to
Yep.
really know.
Yeah.
We just know that this is not genuine.
No.
'Cause
Yeah, it
makes,
doesn't-
It makes
yeah,
no sense
yeah.
from any
You've
view.
got people who hate another group of people but are being supported by those people and being asked not to support them. And you got people who are here that shouldn't be in this location or maybe are not here legally or are not citizens.
Yeah.
Pushing an agenda of potentially another country, maybe China.
Yeah.
It just
So these are just, I mean, we're not fortune tellers, but
if
same
you have any
time,
questions for us, just leave in the comments
Please.
below. Ask us.
Yep.
We'll answer them for you. We
Yep.
know more about the subject. It's just we can keep talking about it, but it's
Yeah.
just
I mean, there's a lot out there. If you have anything that, you think we should know about this,
leave
comment
down
in it.
there. Leave down there. There's a lot to
Subscribe.
this, but
Or
Yeah.
topics.
Like,
yeah,
subscribe, tell us what you think on this. I mean, we're reading the internet just the same as you are, so I'm sure we're missing some stuff, maybe some better examples of, hey, this is very clear that it is China or it's not, or
Mhm.
that'd be great.
oh yeah, or who's actually paying for these?
Yeah.
These
The paper
protests
trail.
even start.
Who could it benefit?
Yeah.
What's the real reason for this movement?
Yeah.
I understand what it's masked as, and I guess in some way it kind of makes sense to support. Hey, I don't want innocent people being blasted. I get that in a war zone, but nah, not the way this is going.
No,
but it
if
makes
it was
sense.
if it was Israel just going at it
Yep.
without the
Yep.
the first start, then I'd be
Yep.
okay. But
Yeah.
we're good now. But I think
Cool.
But no, guys, yeah.
All right,
All
that was a
right.
good one. Short and good. Awesome.
Sweet.
Nice.
Oh.
See you next time.